It is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, and California Governor Gavin Newsom has caved, formally requesting $40 billion in federal funding for the LA fire damage, something he promised he wouldn't do unless there were no strings attached. Well, there are strings, and he knows it. Trump has backed him so far into a corner, he's got no choice. Get ready, because we're about to see voter ID come to California. Also, race baiter Joy Reid has been fired by MSNBC this morning. We're going to show you. And Elon responding to Trump, asking to make Doge even more aggressive. Well, he has complied. Wait till you see this. Also, more stories as well from around the country. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. President Trump has backed California Governor Gavin Newsom so far into a corner, he's got no means of escape besides capitulation. That is what we just saw yesterday. Gavin Newsom formally submitting his federal funding request for $40 billion to help pay for the reconstruction efforts following the LA fires, something he and LA's mayor, by the way, have direct culpability in. It's their policies that led to what happened in Pacific Palisades and Altadena and Pasadena last month. Submitting his request to Congress yesterday, saying it's clear that recovery from these fires is beyond the capabilities of California alone and necessitates the support of the federal government, and that he understands there will be conditions. Sending that letter to Speaker Mike Johnson. Now, what's interesting is that Speaker Johnson and Donald Trump both already told Newsom, don't even bother asking for federal funding unless you are ready to deal. We don't trust you to spend the money competently. That's what they told him, saying, we've seen how you spend money. We've seen the way California spends our tax dollars or wastes it. Therefore, without a written and signed agreement with strict guidelines on what and how this money will be spent, don't even bother requesting it. That was last month. Watch.
ID as a condition for aid to California. Is that going to be a red line for you? Would you insist on voter ID in exchange for aid to California?
Yeah, we've got to work out the details of that. I have not spoken to the president about that issue since he said that. He'll be here tonight, of course, for dinner with us, and that's one of the topics of discussion. Listen, there are a lot of issues going on in California, and we have been lamenting the lack of voter security there for some time, election security. We were deeply concerned about it in this last election cycle, and we saw 3 of our seats frankly slip away from us in the weeks that it took to continue counting ballots in California when seemingly every other state and nation in America can get it done.
This all started right after the fires began. Trump immediately suspending all federal funding for California on January 28th, signing an executive order that implemented a complete funding freeze to Newsom's state. Shortly thereafter, we started seeing Newsom grovel and sweet talk President Trump. Then a few days ago, on Thursday, Trump's new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, announcing an investigation into the $16 billion Newsom wasted on his infamous high-speed rail project. $16 billion gone. 16 years later, nothing to show for it. Just 600 yards of steel framing in the Central Valley. That's it. Just sitting there, useless. Watch.
Why have we spent $16 billion for California's high-speed rail, and there's still no rail? They're over a decade behind schedule, and they keep asking for more money. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy showed up with a message for them. Listen.
I want to address the protesters for a moment, if I could. I think they were chanting, build the rail. It's been 17 years and $16 billion, and no rail has been built. So if you want to go protest somewhere, if you want to shout at someone, go to the governor's mansion. Go talk to Democrats in the legislature who have brought us this crappy project. We're done with it. And you know what? You're going to have people who love fraud, who love waste, who love trains to nowhere. This is a boondoggle. They should ask the question, who didn't build my rail? Who got rich? What consultants? What politicians? What politicians' husbands got rich off of this money?
California handed a bunch of politically collected contractors $16 billion almost 20 years ago, and there's no train. But Biden just kept sending checks with no questions asked. He's a train guy. But you can't just keep pumping money into a boondoggle. You got to pull the plug. And that's what Duffy did. California's on their own.
That investigation's just the icing on the cake. Trump already had Newsom over a barrel after the federal funding freeze, using that position of strength to put out his terms last month. It's the art of the deal. Trump wrote a book on this. It's what he does for a living, telling Newsom and the world, we need two things from you if you want this money. Number one, the free flow of all California water, and number two, voter ID for all future California elections. Yes, he said that. Watch.
Funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles, and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial, because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want two things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while. We'll see you at the site.
We've been reporting this for months, that Trump was coming for California, that a major domestic battle was coming between the Trump administration and California. Trump has his eye on California, and they know it. Newsom, Democrats, they know it, and they're powerless to stop it at this point. He has got them over a barrel.
White House is looking to sell the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on 7th Street and the century-old building at 50 United Nations Plaza. The Trump administration says it will save money by avoiding maintenance on the buildings, selling the properties, then leasing office space for federal workers. Former Congresswoman Jackie Spears says it's just about vengeance.
It's another example of how he's coming after Democrats, he's coming after California, and it's all about payback.
Trump's goal is to fix the mess these left-wing policies have caused. The state of California is the gem, the jewel of this country. Hands down, one of the prettiest states in the nation, if not the world, and it's resource rich. And it has 54 electoral votes. Bottom line, Trump is coming for California. He wants to flip it red and fix the mess, including the wildfire problem. In another story, MSNBC has terminated their contract with race baiter Joy Reid, announcing this morning a major shakeup is underway at the network. First to go is the far-left primetime host, Joy Reid's The Readout. That's the name of her show. According to the Times, Reid's last episode will happen sometime this week, and good riddance. This is the same lady who urged her viewers to avoid Trump-voting relatives during holiday dinners. Just 2 days ago, Joy Reid compared all black Republicans to fried chicken. Yes, she really said that live on air. Watch.
Your thoughts, Byron Donalds, who walked out after Dixie was played in New York and has no shame there. Mm-hmm. They say he's going to be the governor of Florida now.
Yeah, every community has what I call their chickens for Colonel Sanders. Muslims had their halal chickens. The black community has their chickens. Byron Donalds is a grown-ass black man who referred to Donald Trump as his daddy. And what I want to tell the Byron Donalds, and every community's got a Donald. I got a Kash Patel. We got a Nimrata, we got the Haley. We all got them, all right? What I want to say is this. They'll never love you. They'll never love you. No matter what you do, they'll never love you. You can never wipe out that brown or black skin. Joy Reid has been one of the loudest, most obnoxious Trump haters in corporate media, all of which have seen their viewership tank since Trump won re-election. Nielsen ratings from February 20th show MSNBC now behind even CNN in the key demo. That is bad. Only 89,000 viewers in the demo tuned into MSNBC on Thursday. That's awful. We have better ratings on this channel, and we're just some small YouTube channel. Thank you, by the way, for watching. In another story, panic has begun after Elon Musk and Doge just turned up the dial, responding to President Trump's request for Elon to get even more aggressive with his Department of Government Efficiency. Trump responding Friday evening to all the Musk
critics writing on X, Elon's doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make greater than ever before, MAGA. And Elon has complied, requiring all federal employees provide a 5-bullet point summary of what they accomplished last week due by midnight on Monday. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. This sending shockwaves through D.C. Democrat Senator Tina Smith from Minnesota freaking out, posting on X last night, "This is the ultimate dick boss move from Musk, except he isn't even the boss, he's just a dick." Musk responding, "What did you get done last week, Senator?" Saying this email will take you less than 5 minutes to write. It's the least they can do, no? Who else feels completely refreshed by this? Is this not refreshing? Finally, someone watching out for our money, taming the beast that is the federal government. Every president should do this. It is their job. The chief executive is the steward of our tax dollars. It's his job to do this. And I'm thrilled, elated.
The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing. The illegal alien criminals are being sent home. We're draining the swamp and we're restoring government by the people, for the people. For years, Washington was controlled by a sinister group of radical left Marxists, warmongers, and corrupt special interests who drained our wealth, attacked our liberties, obliterated our borders, and sucked our country dry. Not any longer.
This is the actual email all federal workers received yesterday. What did you do last week? Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. Deadline is this Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, that wraps up the news portion of this video. Now let me tell you about the sponsor for today, Mustang Energy, a pure-play uranium exploration company. You can see their ticker on the screen. This company ties directly into the race the Trump administration is in to unlock America's energy potential. On January 20th, 2025, the future of energy production around the globe experienced a significant shift. Donald Trump's declaration of a national energy emergency on Inauguration Day was designed to expedite approvals for energy infrastructure, including nuclear power. I believe we're about to see a nuclear energy renaissance under this administration. President Trump's pick to head the U.S. Energy Department, Chris Wright, has said he sees nuclear power as a part of the domestic energy strategy. Right to the north of our border, in Saskatchewan, Canada, resides one of the world's most promising uranium jurisdictions, the Athabasca Basin. Why do you think Trump's gunning so hard for Canada, making Canada our 51st state? Canada's on track to become the world's largest uranium supplier, with uranium output expected to rise by a third. Experts projecting that Canada's national uranium production could double by 2035, ensuring a steady fuel supply for domestic and international nuclear programs. The sponsor of today's video, Mustang Energy, ticker MECPF, which is focused on Canada's Athabasca Basin. Nuclear energy is experiencing a notable resurgence. AI, data centers, electric vehicles are driving up electricity demand. Tech giants increasingly turning to nuclear energy. Companies like Amazon, Alphabet, Oracle have invested in small modular reactor technology. Additionally, Meta announced plans for a $10 billion AI center in Louisiana powered by nuclear energy. Canada on track to potentially become the world's largest uranium producer. And what's interesting about this entire situation is that uranium's spot price is down 36% since its peak, meaning that this is potentially a great time to conduct due diligence on Mustang Energy. Nuclear, the only reliable carbon-free energy source that can meet demand. That's key. AI data centers are projected to consume 8 times more energy by 2030. Now let's focus on Mustang Energy, which owns numerous projects in the Athabasca Basin and is planning on drilling in the months ahead. So you know what that means. When a company produces positive drilling results, if they do, you know what tends to happen. Doesn't always happen, but you know what tends to happen. Its key projects are Ford Lake, close to major uranium deposits like Kamiko's Millennium and Denison's Gryphon and Phoenix deposits, Cigar Lake, east of Rough Rider South, Yellowstone and Yellowstone East, Dutton, close to the Virgin River Shear Zone, Spur and 914 West, located near Kamiko's Key Lake uranium mill. The significance of Mustang Energy's potential lies in the location of these projects to the Athabasca Basin. MECPF's projects are in close proximity to major uranium discoveries. The uranium market facing a severe supply shortage right now, with demand vastly outpacing production. Many uranium mines were shut down in the past decade, and new mines take years to develop. The U.S. relies heavily on foreign uranium, which is geopolitically risky, increasing the need for domestic and allied sources like Canada. Mustang Energy, pure play uranium exploration company focused on Canada's Athabasca Basin, one of the world's most valuable uranium regions. The Athabasca Basin, home to one of the world's largest and highest grade uranium mines. Mustang Energy owns multiple projects strategically located near these uranium giants. Mustang Energy's partnered with working with these industry leaders such as Axiom Exploration, DeRouge Geological Consulting, Red Cloud Securities, and Sky Harbor Resources. This is my first uranium company that I am featuring during the Trump nuclear renaissance. Research Mustang Energy, ticker MECPF. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.